Good afternoon, and welcome to Blindformers. I am your host, Blind Prime, and for today, I have for you Combiner Wars Scavenger. And this is going to be part 4 of our Combiner Wars series. Yeah, after this guy, we've only got 2 more to go. But before I get into this guy, let me have an update on the previous video, episode 24, where I mistakenly call Bone Crusher Rampage. I know. I got the bulldozers confused from the Bayverse and the regular stuff. My bad. My bad. So, please disregard all mentions of Rampage and replace them with Bone Crusher. I know. Many of you will watch the video and be very confused, but it's the same guy. I haven't confused him with the Bayverse dude, Mr. Pogo. So, please take my apologies into consideration when looking at the previous video. Anyway, now let's get into this guy. So, this is Scavenger, and he is actually one of my favorite Constructacons, mainly because I've always liked this type of construction vehicle. You know, this little scoop loader thing, it's pretty awesome. He's got some problems, but we'll get into that. So, for texture-wise, this dude is just chock full of crazy stuff. He's got some vents on the back. He's got some all sorts of other little doohickeys on the sides. You can just feel all these crazy awesome little details that they have molded right into the Transformer, which I do approve of. I think that is pretty awesome. Sugar! Stop! Why? Every time I do a video? Now, let's get into his sizing. So, unlike the last two we had, this guy doesn't have any crazy scoop on the front. And he actually is kind of small. So, he is 14 studs long in his vehicle mode. And he is, let's see, 10 studs wide in his vehicle mode. So 14 studs long, 10 studs wide. Let's get somebody out here to compare him to. Who do we have? We have the Creeper today, Mr. Creeper. So the Creeper, the top of the Creeper's head is just above the top of the cab on this guy. The Creeper can actually sit on the back. I mean, that's a dangerous thing. Now, let's get the, where are you at, Cliff Jumper? You're always here, willing to help. But today, I guess I'll use you. This is Studio Series Scavenger. And there's quite a few differences. For one, Scavenger on the Studio Series is just about 1 stud shorter. For another thing, Scavenger in the Studio Series is not as wide. And it doesn't have as much really cool molded in detail as, it does have some, but compared to the other one, the Combiner Wars Scavenger, this molded detail is much better. But the big thing that I have a problem with Combiner Wars Scavenger is his bucket. All it has is one joint in the middle, and then a joint to make it fold back and up, and then it has a mushroom peg to allow you to spin it around. Oh wow. It's not as dynamic as I would like it to be. Now, Studio Series guy, on the other hand, you can't spin it around. We do lose the ability for this thing to spin around, but it's got one joint at the vehicle mode, another joint in the middle, and then the bucket's on a separate joint. So we lose rotation, but we gain a bucket joint. So he can get really creative with his bucket. Or, he can fold it up like that. So I do appreciate the Studio Series guy over the Combiner Wars Scavenger. just because of the cool bucket. Though the robot modes are very, very different. So let's get... Here he is. We've got... Not you, Sugar. We've got Earthrise Cliff Jumper here, and Cliff Jumper goes from the entire length of the tread. Can you pick Cliff Jumper up in your commode? Because we just enjoy torturing Cliff Jumper. No. See, if the bucket could tilt, we could totally hold up Cliff Jumper. But we cannot. So today we do not get to torture Cliff Jumper. Instead, we can just kind of shoo him out. What? 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 Yeah? What's wrong, Sugar? Yeah? I'm doing a video. Can you be quiet? Huh? Yeah? You gonna try? Okay. All right, let's get into the transformation now that we've talked about this. So the transformation for him is pretty fun. All you do is, first off, like with Bone Crusher, you disengage the treads and just fold them out. Then rotate them on their ballpoint peg so that they lay down away from the rest of the vehicle. We will be getting back to them in a bit. Now that that's taken care of, let's then move onwards to the arms. So to unattach the arms, all you have to do is kind of pull them out to the sides just a bit. They are on a rotation near the bucket, so they're on a rotating hinge that will allow them to fold forwards to create the shoulders. Then, when you have folded both arms forwards all the way to make shoulders, make sure that you fold the cab portion inwards, and then we can rotate both of these arms by taking the arm and moving it up on its own joint without interfering with the shoulder hinge that you just unfolded. It's on a ball joint, so it will just move up. We want to follow that with the other side and rotate, make sure that the arm is moving separate from the shoulder, because at this point the shoulder piece does like to move a bit, so hold it with one hand, then push it up to give a pronounced shoulder to him. Then on the forearm, go ahead and feel underneath it and rotate out the hand. Do the same action with the other side. Feel inside of the forearm, grab the hand, rotate it out. They will click in place, which is quite nice. And you can fold up the arms just a bit. All right, we're done with the arms for a moment. Little warning, this cab thing likes to pop off all the time. So just be aware that that could happen to you. Next up, where there was the undercarriage for Scavenger here, when he was in vehicle mode, you want to take it and fold it out. There's a panel that will fold out on a hinge, and inside you will find the head. So fold the head up, and then take that hinge and fold it back in. There we have the head. The head is out. It's on a ball hinge. It's kind of nice. Now we work with this lower body, because this part is a bit weird. It took me a little while to figure out how to do it properly, and I'm about to show you guys, because trust me, it is weird. So, you first off pull the leg assembly all the way out, and then keep your fingers away from it, because when it snaps into place, it's going to hurt. I just accidentally did it to myself. Fold. And once you have folded the leg assembly out as far as it will go, there are two hinges. And then you want to fold it back in as far as it will go on both of those hinges. And you can click it into place directly under the chest panel. And once you have completed that, you then rotate each of the legs down and snap them into place. And once complete, go ahead and pull out the legs so the knees are visible. You do that the same way you did with Bone Crusher by grabbing the top of the tread in one hand and pulling the bottom of the tread out. Go to the tip of each tread at the very end of them and unfold the feet, just exactly like in Bone Crusher. These feet don't like unfolding as much, so you may have to add a little oomph. But once you have unfolded both of those feet and you got the clicks, then you can take the bucket arm and rotate it backwards. Well, fold it up into the vehicle mode. So it will fold up on itself like that, so he can pick it up and kind of move it around above his head if he wants. But mainly it just gets stored. I wish there was a better way to store it, at least where it could fold up a bit better, but that's what we got. It's not as bad. It's not that bad. It just gives him kind of a handle where you can dance him around a bit. In his robot mode, this guy is pretty neat. Doesn't take much to transform him. He just kind of goes from a box to a robot. But he is a cool little robot. I do wish his knees were a bit sturdier. And Sugar, I thought you said you were going to be quiet. Huh? Shh. All right. Let's go to the height of this guy. We're going to drag our finger over from the top of his head to the stud board and go 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So, he has the distinction of being slightly taller than Bone Crusher, which I find to be funny. This dude is the one Constructacon with confidence issues. And he's actually one of the more useful Constructacons because of his abilities to sense minerals deposits in the ground and stuff. If you need metal, or any type of mineral, you come to Scavenger, he'll find it. Now, in his robot mode, we get a robot here to compare him. Where are you at, Bumblebee? 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 Oh, there you are. All right. And we got Bumblebee here. And Bumblebee stands to the top of his tread legs again. Now, Bumblebee, what are you getting into? Stop it. Must have gotten into some catnip or something. Yep, Bumblebee stands all the way to the, his head goes to the top of the treads. That's pretty cool. Go away, Bumblebee. All right. Now, let's compare him to one of the legs. Here's the leg of Devastator for Scrapper. And as you can see, from the top of his head to the top of the leg, this guy stands tall. Pretty neat. Put the leg away. Now, let's get him in his arm mode. His arm mode is pretty much his vehicle mode. So we've got to transform him back. So first off, go ahead and pull those legs away from the body. 1 second. This can be a bit difficult because these snaps like to snap. There it goes. May take you a minute to pull it away, but once you do, you're golden. All right. Now we're going to move over to putting his head away. So just unfold the chest, fold the head into the chest, snap the chest shut. Pretty straightforward there. Okay. Next, we're going to build the arms back. So you want to first put the fist back into the hand, then rotate the arm down on its little arm joint thing. So rotate the shoulders up, and first push the arm down on its little. There's like a shoulder lever in there. Oh crap! I pulled it off its ball joint. There it goes. So just lower that arm down, then fold the cab over the side of the shoulder. This way your cab doesn't fall off. Trust me, it falls off all the time. Don't forget to put the hand inside. Keep all hands inside of the construction vehicle at all times. Line up the smokestacks so that they're facing up. He's got one on each arm. And now we will get to the rest of him. So first off, we're going to need to remember completely how to transform him into arm mode. This guy is the troublesome one, just slightly so for arm mode. He doesn't like doing anything you want him to do. So let's get down here into this. Oh wait, I remember now. So you know this chest assembly bit? You just grab it and pull it out of its pegs. It will take a moment. Don't worry, it can pull out of its pegs. It's going to make the spot that the actual fist plugs into. So we can rotate that around and just leave it hanging out. We will get to that one later, but that's how you take care of that. Make sure both arms are straight across on the top. And then we're going to get over to his legs. So unsnap the legs and rotate them. Unsnap that leg and rotate it. So we're just unsnapping them from where we had snapped them into place before. Then fold the leg assembly back into itself, like you're making it back into a vehicle mode. And then instead of snapping it back down into the undercarriage of the Scavenger's vehicle mode, you want to instead keep it loose where it can move up and down. And you will feel that there is a square hole in the side. Go ahead and close up both of the feet. We don't need them open anymore. And make sure they snap together, even though your fingernails will hate you later when you try to undo that. And there you go. That is his arm mode. Oh, wait. One last thing. Rotate the shovel so that it's actually facing backwards, and then the shovel, the end of the shovel arm will sit comfortably on top of where the shoulder of Devastator will plug in, because you've made a little shoulder there. I know, Devastator's got some beefy arms, but actually something I like to do for this part is kind of rotate the arms just a bit so that so that you can't see everything. But we will do that final bit on the day of devastation, the day of Devastator. That's the arm. The arm, as you can see, let's get it into a lengthwise position, because this, you know, you're discovering this guy's he's not gonna be small. He's not gonna be small. So not counting the treads, because the treads are not really part of the arm, but we're counting the shoulder bit. We go all the way to right there, and that is 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So the law of averages says he is 23 long. And finally, for a comparison of him to Blur. Come on, Blur. Where did your gun go? Oh, well. Blur will stretch all the way like that. That's pretty cool. Well, guys, I hope you've enjoyed episode 25 of Blindformers. This dude definitely gets a level 4 in transformation. He is a bit more complicated, and also he will get a 8 in the funness level. I'm going to start doing numbers. I tried to do without numbers, but I can't always come up with something cool. So numbers are just easier and allow me to focus more on descriptions of the Transformers. So in funness, he's definitely an 8. He is a fun guy to transform. He's just, I like my excavators, man. I do enjoy my excavator units in construction vehicles. Well, turn in next time, where we will be taking care of either Hook or Long Haul, and then after that video, it will either be Hook or Long Haul, and then after that video, it will be the day of devastation. Anyway, this has been Blind Prime, and you've been watching Blindformers. I hope you have enjoyed the show. Bye-bye.